Alright guys, so today's video is not going to be about playing TTRPGs, mechanically or role-playing or any of that. This is just going to be my thoughts on why it's important that we do. So I don't know about each and every one of you, but for me there are some things I really do not super love about the modern world. There's a lot of loneliness. There are false communities everywhere, which is where everyone in a hobby or in a space pretends that they're related because they all do the thing. But if you've ever been in these communities, it's three guys that post way more often than everyone else for fake internet points. And they just want the admin to notice them. That's it. There's nothing that binds these people together in purpose or cause at all. Pretty sick of politics in the news. Pretty sick of everyone making politics their entire identity. People spend a ton of time stressing out about things they can't control. Billionaires far away spending a ton of money to screw us. Politics. Toxic positivity is perhaps one of my biggest pet peeves at this point, where when you're trying to improve at a skill, people tell you, what you're doing is great. As long as you're having fun, it's fine. And while that's reasonable advice for somebody stressing, it is absolutely offensive and not helpful to somebody trying to improve. And then finally, just me personally, I struggle a lot with nothing being worth doing. Like, I cannot convince myself that something is worthwhile. I really struggle to get going because just absolutely my effort has never paid off once in my entire life. So why do I think tabletop role-playing games can help with this? Tabletop role-playing games are inherently social. It requires us to... It's not about the talking to each other, it's the working together, right? I might not know anything about you and your political identity. I might not know anything about what you like, what you hate. I might only know your character. But we are still socializing. We are still working collaboratively together to make the game work. There is cooperation in that. And that, I think, is a virtuous thing. I think that's good. Learning to work with people, whether you know anything about them or not, is great. I think it instills responsibility when the players show up prepared, when everyone comes to have a good time and make sure others have a good time. I think that there is inherently empathy in role-playing, because you are empathically exploring a character, trying to feel what they feel. And I think that helps people grow. I think a little bit of math and problem solving is fantastic for your brain. I think it keeps you sharp. I am not the smartest guy on the planet, but tabletop role-playing games have really bolstered my creativity, my imagination. They have helped me be able to keep complex models in my head all at once and think about things spatially. It's just good for your thinking. Now, this video may not show it, but I think tabletop role-playing games help people become more well-spoken. I think people that play games like this tend to, not always, but tend to be able to communicate a little more effectively and less abrasively. It is part of most games to talk to NPCs and convince them to do things that you want them to do, to give you information, to work with you. There's a certain level of deception involved there that is helpful. You talk to your party members. Sometimes you get into the role play and you do speak in a certain way that has more bigger words to describe things. You also learn a lot of things from RPGs, not just tabletop, but video game too. You learn all these historical words and mythology and creatures and misused arcane words. You learn concepts that you would otherwise not be exposed to. I very frequently forget that not everyone has played RPGs their entire life, and so there are people out there that have literally no idea what the difference between a longsword and a rapier is. They have no idea what a billhook is. They do not know anything about medieval inns or taverns. They don't spend any time researching like the history of feudal society and the government, which is fine. Those are not necessarily useful skills. They just give you more data points in your brain to connect when you learn things. I think it's good to be exposed to lots of ideas like that. even if you don't roleplay deeply, playing a game is an inherently expressive activity because the way you play is different from how anybody else plays. And you can actually learn a lot about people by playing, but this is really about expressing yourself. And expressing yourself is not an immediate value to people that don't do it very often. They sometimes can't see why that's valuable. It helps you know yourself. It releases some bottled up frustrations that you don't know you have. Being able to express yourself effectively, non-violently, and just put what you believe out into the world and feel heard, there is great healing and power in that. Something that I know some people struggle with, and tabletop role-playing games helped me with, was this feeling of finality. Like everything is going to stop at some point, and that's it. I have concluded this today, and I will never change my mind. If I don't do this now, I will never do it. And I think playing through a ton of characters, having them all die in horrific ways, I think that has helped me with that. To get to the point where I'm just waiting for what comes next because something comes next. I'm not as worried about this being the last time I'll ever whatever, because every time I thought that, I played a new character and then it happened again, So I think it's good to learn to accept loss, to not get mad when you die, but to feel those feelings for sure, but be like, okay, now I'm going to make a new character. We're going to go again. It's going to be better and different this time. And so finally, for me, tabletop role-playing games, in some way, prove that effort is worthwhile. The more that I put into the game, the more I get out. And that is not true for all activities. So, if you are maybe feeling like the world has gotten crazy, that it's going down in flames, that everyone's awful, that humanity is lost, or if you have kids that you would like to grow up a little bit more curious, a little bit more imaginative, a little bit more well-spoken, if you want to spend time with those kids and have something that you can bond over for many years to come, get you and everyone you know into a tabletop group today.